Hello and welcome back to the Wizards Arena, my fellow Planeswalkers. And today we're doing the final deck for Commander 2021. First up, we have an enchantment for 2 in the black. Attack and pest you control get +1/+0 and have menace. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, make a pest. This is kind of neat. It makes this black-green deck do a lot of stuff, more so, It makes it hard to deal with the pest tokens, and if you're playing a lot of stuff when it dies, it triggers other things, like morbid and stuff. I can see this being a good idea. It's not particularly powerful, but it's better than average, so we'll give it a 6. And see what else we got. Blossoming Bog Beast, 4 and a green creature beast. Good thing they call it a beast. 3/3. Whenever he attacks, gain 2 life. Then creatures you control get trample and +X/+X. Till end of turn, well, X is the amount of life you gain this turn. So this is another version of Cradlehoof that is not absolutely gross. They nerfed him. This is fine, especially in this kind of deck where you're gaining life, potentially 4 or 5 life or more in a turn. This could be pretty nasty. Again, this is the standard number of like 6. Not crazy, but if he had the haste, he'd be ridiculous. Essence Pulse, 3 in black for sorcery. You gain 2 life. Each creature gets -X/-X, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Again, playing on this whole gaining of life theme. So if you sack a whole bunch of pest tokens, then you cast this, you can gain 2 life. Like if you sack 4 pest tokens to Phyrexian Altar for 4 black mana and you just cast this, then it's 6 life, so everything else gets -X/-6. This is fine. Another 6. Next up, Root Channeler, 5 and a green for 4/6 Tree Druid. A tree folk with reach? Get out of here. All tree folk should have reach. They're taller than trees. They're made of trees. Creature spells you cast cost X less, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Tap and gain 2 life. Again, making the whole black-green thing work. I could also see black-green-white life gain deck being a thing too. 4/6. This is really good. I feel it's slightly better because it's a mana dork, but it's not enough of an upgrade to be into the 7s. It's just so much mana, so it's not an early ramper, but he has a really good body. Next up, Jerome Master Chef, 2 a black and a green for Troll Warlock. That's a 5/3. He's got trample at the beginning of your end step. Create a number of food equal to the number of non-token creatures you had enter the battlefield on your turn list. Okay, and then you can sack a food. Target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. So this is kind of neat. Like being the other black-green commander in this deck is if you have sack outlets, you can make lots of food tokens and then spend mana and sack all your food to save your board from a wrath. This is really good, I think. Is it game breaking? Nope. He's just pretty okay. I'd give him a 5. Next up, Healing Technique, 3 and a green. Demonstrate it. Return target card from your yard to your hand and gain life equal to its MV, and exile this. So you could potentially get 2 cards back to your hand and then You can pick the person that has the least amount of terrifying stuff in their graveyard to get 1 back. And this costs 4. So it's a regrow times 2, which is 4 mana, plus a stapled free life gain on it. That's fine. They realized another regrow was overcosted. I'll give this a 5. It's okay. Next up, Marshland Bloodcaster. 4 and a black for Flying Vampire Warlock. That's a 3/5. Colors in black, tap. Rather than paying the mana cost of your next spell, this turn you may pay life equal to the mana value. And this goes really good with the black-green commander that comes with this deck. The main one that we saw way in the beginning. That you spend 1 and tap it, and you put +1/+1 counters on a thing equal to the life gained or lost that turn. So this is just kind of cool in general. You can drop a really big, vampire earlier than usual. But I mean, we're having to talk about like a really expensive card. Like, this works good with Eldrazi's, I guess, because you can just spend 2 and like 10 life, and just jam the 10 drop in for Ulamog. So, seems like it's better than most of the stuff we've seen today. That's 7. Next up, Pest Infestation, XX green. Destroy up to X target artifacts or enchantments. Create twice X 1/1 black and green pest tokens. So green and then 3, we'll say, into the X's. So 7 mana, and you get 6 little 1/1s. And you blew up 3 of their things. Seems pretty good. I'll give this one a 7 too. It's okay. Payoff's higher than I thought it would be. 6 guys for 7 mana. What is this weird art? Revival Experiment. 4 black and a green sorcery. For each permanent type, return up to 1 card of that type from your yard to play. You lose 3 life for each card returned this way. Exile it. So this is really good in a life gaining deck, and potentially sacking deck. Muldrotha would probably like this too, like, just because he tends to put lots of stuff in his yard. I would give this a 7 also. It's pretty good. Next up, Sproutbag Trudge. 7 and 2 green for a 9/7 fungus beast. This seems a lot of mana. Let's see what we can do here. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. Okay. Trample. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you may cast them from your graveyard. Sure. So potentially, you gain a bunch of life. This guy costs you 2 green for a 9/7 trampler. So theoretically, like turn 5 or so, you can get him out if he's in your yard or in your hand. So that's pretty good. Turn 5 for a 9/7 trample. Nice little threat. But he's just a 9/7 trample. So we'll just give him a 6. Next up, Tavashi Gloom Summoner. 4 and a black for a lifelink human warlock. Beginning of your end step, if you gain life, you may pay X life, where X is the amount of life you gain this turn. If you do, make an XX black demon token with flying. I think I'd like him if he had like flying or menace or something like that. So he's just getting a 4. He's pretty cool, but not quite as good as some of the other things we've seen today. Next up, the Trudge Garden. Sounds like an enchantment. 2 and a green enchantment. Whenever you gain life, you may pay 2. If you do, make a 4/4 green fungus beast creature token with trample. Fun with the fungus is. So you gotta have life gain. You gotta have mana up, or this does nothing. I think this is probably the worst thing we've seen. Gets a 3. Next up, Vainwich Coven. 2 and a black menace vampire warlock. Whenever you gain life, you may pay a black. If you do, return target creature card from your yard to your hand. It's okay. Again, you have to have stuff in the yard to take full advantage of the ability, but they're not paying through the nose for the ability. So I think this will be a little higher than the last one we saw. This is a 4, because it is a creature with evasion and menace. Next up, the last one, Witch's Clinic. Tap for colorless. 2 and tap it. Target commander gains lifelink until end of turn. Well, this is a home run. Pretty much every commander deck wants this thing. Why wouldn't you want to gain life? This is a 9. Like, it's better than the white-black one because it doesn't restrict the deck it goes in. It's just really good. And we do have one more. Yedron Grave Gardener. 4 and a green. For a tree folk druid, whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may return it to the battlefield face down under its owner's control. It's a forest. Kind of interesting. So you kill creatures, and if you don't want them coming back, or you don't have any plans on reanimating them, you can bring them back to be lands to ramp you up the late game. That's kind of interesting. It's a neat idea. I like commanders that take the color pie in slightly different directions. This is a 7. And that was our last one. My name has been Dramo with the Wizards Arena. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below. We'll be having the last one of Season 2 or 3 for Deck Tech coming up soon. And I'll see you guys then. You guys have yourselves a great day.